Hello and welcome to a different style of the podcast tonight. We're talking about safe standing. So has your opinion changed, Kevin, from when you first came into the roadshow to what it is now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more positive now. A lot of the positive things have been said tonight about it. I mean, I came thinking, maybe it's not going to be as good as it was, but you can see for yourself now. I think the proof's in the pudding. They look fairly good things to have around the ground, and they do look very safe. And it's been a long time now since we've had this sort of thing at football grounds, but Celtic have proved that it can work. Other clubs obviously have tried it. There's Brentford have got it as well in the Championship. So I think, in years to come, I think a lot of clubs will have this back in the grounds again by the looks of things.
Is it giving you an understanding how it would work in Ellen Road? Because obviously we've been saying that Ellen Road is quite an old stadium. How it would work?
Yeah, I think Ellen Road is sort of ready-made for this sort of thing because, like you say, we did have standing there before. I'm sure it can come back again if necessary. I think the Cop probably would be a good point to have this sort of seating, or standing, should I say. And I think it would work really well, especially with the fan base we've got as well, who appreciate standing up.
I mean, one of the things that the club have said today is that it could be a bit too expensive for the fact that we've got to have seats on it, but we might not be in Europe for another 5-6 years or so.
Yeah, I mean the expense is going to be involve a lot of money, but I think if you get a sponsor to sort of get behind the club, I think it more or less pays for itself. If you get a decent sponsor who's really behind it and can see the attraction and the publicity they will get from it as well, I think it could more or less pay for itself.
Because this petitions, it was quite quiet for a while, and all of a sudden it became quite popular, and they got to 100,000 signatures. How do you think the MPs are just going to brush it under the carpet again?
Well, they can't really. When there's so many people behind it, we're talking about a six-figure sum that have got behind the whole thing. You can't just brush aside something like that. You've got to look at it and come out with a positive reason why you're either going to get behind it or why you're going to reject it. You can't just brush it under the carpet and just forget about it. A decision has got to be made in the future.
It's become a bit of more of an emotive thing rather than an actual practical thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sensitivity to the Hillsborough disaster and Heysel and all that. Obviously, you've got to be very sensitive to these sort of cases, but even Liverpool fans seem to be getting behind this sort of thing now, and I think you've got to listen to the fans who go week in, week out to these games. You go to a lot of away games, like it's been said, and the away fans are stood up watching the game, and it's not very safe if somebody falls, but if it was something like this at the grounds, it'd be a lot easier.
I mean, I'm in the Cop. Do you think it would improve atmosphere?
Definitely. I mean, I was brought up in the Cop myself back in the day where people just stood up. I think there's a lot of camaraderie with fans when they sort of stood up supporting the club rather than sat down. I think it would engage the people a lot more to get involved and get behind the team. Yeah, definitely.
Hi Pete, how are you doing?
Very well, Barney. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, good, thanks. So, what was your thoughts about tonight and how it came across to the members that came to the roadshow?
I think it was brilliant, to be honest. I mean, massively informative. John obviously knows his stuff. He's travelled through Germany, he's been in Bristol, Shrewsbury, obviously well regarded in the industry. I mean, I just think it's kind of a no-brainer when you listen to him talking about it. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It's safe standing. It's pretty difficult to see how it isn't, to be honest. And I think, we just need to almost get John to speak in Parliament somehow and just really try and persuade these guys to see the light.
I just asked earlier about how's it going to be in Parliament. Do you think it's just going to get rushed under the carpet, or do you think it's actually going to be quite a big debate?
I think he made a comment earlier about it's been one of the fastest moving petitions to get to 100,000 in the last, I can't remember however many years, but quite a few years. And I think it's not going to go away because of that. And I think if they try and brush it under, it'll just keep coming back. So what I think they're probably going to do is maybe find a way of looking at it positively without losing any face. And I think that might be a win-win situation for us as fans, but them then as politicians as well. So
I think one of the main factors, as probably for Leeds United and many other clubs in the Championship, is probably the financial side of it as well. I mean, some clubs that are coming up into the Championship and some teams that are in the Championship, they have to get these seats, but probably will never be in Europe. So that's one of the barriers that we need to understand.
Yeah.
And
I think from a financial aspect, it's obviously for Leeds it's going to be hundreds of thousands of pounds. I think the thing with that is the design isn't patented. I'm sure there's engineering companies in and around Leeds that could do this with a sponsorship, giving back to the fans, and with that it'll pay for itself pretty quickly in their marketing campaign almost. You know, can you imagine being the owner of a business and saying that you gave Leeds safe standing? You know, it's kind of a no-brainer.
So from a trust point of view as well, we've been quite involved with the club over the last few weeks talking about this. Is it everything you expected it was today, the roadshow?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was positive. The club came along. We brought a couple of representatives. You know, the stadium manager, the safety manager. You know, Angus, and you know, they were here for plenty of time. So that's a positive to me. That listening to our members, and it was also positive that they seemed to have done pre-work on safe standing. So, you know, I think they're listening, and I can only see that as a positive, really. And
it was good to see as well the fact that the club's actually had someone round to do them a quote and said, right, this is where would be best and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
I agree, and you know, and especially at the moment, it's really busy around Ellen Road. They've got the World Cup pre-game coming up. They've got the Warrington fight. They still managed to come over, spend some time with John and ourselves going over the detail. Same with the police, same with the ambulance. You know, those guys coming and spending the time, it's building momentum.
Oh, obviously we're going to be in constant contact with the club over the next few days and weeks about how we're going to communicate this out to our members as well.
Yeah, no, it's been a really good session. Really good session.